Nicki Minaj is out here swinging at everybody. First it was SZA, and now it's Doechii in the line of fire. Word on the street is that Nicki got into it with Doechii and Roc Nation, and it wasn't just a little ego clash. This was a full-on industry showdown. According to Nicki, Doechii isn't just rising up. She's being groomed, polished, and strategically pushed by Roc Nation to replace her as the queen of rap. That's Nicki's version of the story. But how real is it? Some are calling her paranoid, but there's no denying the bond between Doechii and Roc Nation is tight, and maybe even a little too calculated. Could Nicki be onto something, or is she just losing her grip on the throne? Let's not forget, Nicki's been on a wild streak lately. She's throwing shots, stirring up drama, and clashing with anyone who gets in her way. Her latest beef? Going head-to-head with Jay-Z's empire. But she ain't stopping at petty accusations. Nicki is claiming Roc Nation actually owes her millions. And trust, we're gonna break that all the way down. But hold up, before the money drama, Nicki was already deep in another online war. She's been stirring up some serious heat, accusing both Jay-Z and Roc Nation of trying to shut her down behind the scenes. According to her, they're out here silencing her voice, shadow banning her fans, the Barbs, and secretly launching a smear campaign to push her out of the spotlight. But don't get it twisted. The Barbs ain't backing down. They've been out here defending Nicki, calling out what they see as major corporate bullying. Still, beneath all this internet chaos, Nicki's got bigger claims, and they all lead back to major cash in the music industry. She recently sent shockwaves when she claimed that Jay-Z owes her a jaw-dropping $200 million from her alleged stake in Tidal. Nicki and her crew feel like this goes way deeper than just money. They say it's about betrayal, that Roc Nation and Jay-Z straight up disrespected her legacy and worth as an artist. And if there's one thing we know about Nicki, she never plays nice when she feels crossed. So the moment she realized Jay-Z wasn't budging, she came for him hard, and she didn't stop at business. Nicki went personal. She dragged out one of the messiest rumors in Jay-Z's past, his alleged secret son. That's right. She brought up those old whispers about Jay-Z's possible child outside his marriage. If you missed it, this story came back up recently when a judge approved Rymir Satterthwaite's request to move forward with his paternity case. And now, Jay-Z's being legally pressed to respond. And just when Jay-Z probably thought things couldn't spiral any further, boom! He's now caught up in even more drama, this time tied to Megan Thee Stallion's ongoing legal mess. The situation involves her cameraman, who dropped some wild claims about a toxic work environment during her tour. According to Academics TV, a judge shut down Roc Nation and Megan's attempt to dismiss the lawsuit, and the accusations are straight up scandalous. The cameraman, who identifies as gay, says he was forced to witness Megan getting wild in the back of a moving car in Ibiza, allegedly having car sex with another woman while on tour. And with this lawsuit still alive in court, things just got even messier for Roc Nation. Of course, Nicki Minaj didn't waste a second before jumping in. She hit Twitter with a slick message clearly aimed at Jay-Z, calling the chaos karma for how Roc Nation supposedly did her dirty. Nicki posted, "But what's the name of that law again? Karma law, touch not my anointed law. Vengeance is the Lord's law. We give God the glory, and he's only just begun." Nicki's not holding back, and if you're in her way, you're getting dragged, even if you're just collateral damage. Megan Thee Stallion is now catching stray shots over a feud that ain't even hers. Some folks are saying Nicki took it too far, especially since Megan might have already been cleared of those specific claims. But Nicki? She's in full-blown battle mode. Her fans think the industry's out to get her, and this is the kind of fiery, no-chill energy only someone who crowned herself queen would bring. But Nicki's not just fighting for herself anymore. She's on a full-blown mission, claiming she's standing up for every artist who's ever felt used or tossed aside by the industry's power players. And things get even messier. Nicki's now saying that Roc Nation and Jay-Z didn't just come for her career. She believes they tried to sabotage her marriage. Yep, the conspiracy talk is getting louder, and honestly, some folks are starting to believe there might be some truth behind it all. And it's not just Nicki saying it. Hot 97 host Nessa stepped into the conversation and backed Nicki up, and that sent shockwaves. She brought her own receipts, claiming Roc Nation pulled the same shady moves on her partner, Colin Kaepernick. Nessa reposted Nicki's message and added her own tea, exposing the smear campaign tactics that Jay-Z, Roc Nation and Desiree Perez did to her behind the scenes is very similar to what I was told they did to Kaepernick when Jay purposely co-opted Colin's protest by siding with the NFL to help their image after they blackballed Colin for his protest. She didn't stop there. Nessa went in, saying she'd called them all out years ago, but people were too scared to speak publicly, even though they agreed with her behind closed doors. And the bombshell? She claimed Roc Nation took a $5 million a year deal over 5 years just to help cover up the NFL's damage, all while Kaepernick was being iced out of the league. With someone like Nessa backing her up, Nicki's story is starting to sound less like drama and more like something deeper. And while not everyone's riding for Nicki, having a respected voice like Nessa speak out adds some serious weight to her claims. Now here's where things take an even darker twist. Nicki Minaj didn't just come for Jay-Z and Roc Nation. She dragged Doechii straight into the fire too. And what's wild is that Doechii, with her sweet image and rising star status, has suddenly become a major piece in this messy drama. Just days ago, the internet was on fire after Nicki popped off again, and this time Doechii was in her crosshairs. Nicki went on another one of her signature rants, not just throwing shade, but aiming to completely tear Doechii down. But to really understand why Doechii got pulled into this chaos, we've got to rewind and look at where this whole thing might have started. It all seems to go back to SZA's former manager, Terrence "Punch" Anderson. Nicki claimed that Punch bullied her in the past, and one thing we know, Nicki never forgets a grudge. Years later, she's still holding on to it. So when SZA randomly tweeted something that seemed innocent, Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, silly goose, Nicki lost it, thinking it was a slick shot at her. That's when things exploded. Nicki snapped and went off on SZA, launching into a verbal brawl. She started trashing SZA's whole career, saying her songs are weak and that she sings like she got stung by a bee. But Nicki didn't stop there. She crossed the line, calling SZA ugly and saying she sounds like a dead dog. That's the thing with Nicki. When she goes off, there's no filter. She doesn't know when to stop, and once you're in her path, it's game over. Now Doechii's stuck in the fallout of a war she didn't even start. With Nicki, it's like no female artist is ever safe. She keeps dragging them into drama, even when they haven't said anything to her. Lately, fans have been saying she crossed the line, especially with the way she came for SZA out of nowhere. SZA's tweet didn't even mention Nicki, but that didn't stop her from launching into full-blown attack mode. After throwing body-shaming insults, Nicki doubled down and went after SZA's entire career. She posted, "Wait, that SZA thinks she's more successful than me? LOL, y'all catch me up, please. SZA, if every song you've ever done vanished right now, the music business wouldn't even miss you. I've been to countries that never heard of you." Brutal. And the wild part, that one tweet from SZA could have been about literally anything, but Nicki made it personal. It really felt like she was looking for a fight. And even if SZA's post was some low-key jab, which no one can prove, what did Doechii do to deserve getting caught in the middle? Doechii didn't throw any shade, didn't tweet anything shady, but Nicki still came after her out of left field. And the way she did it? Cold. Nicki dropped this creepy little coded message, MTM minus 30 million, alongside a pic of a Chucky doll. Super eerie. And fans who were paying attention knew exactly what she meant. It was a jab at reports that Doechii lost 30 million streams in the last 3 months. That post was shady, calculated, and meant to sting. Nicki didn't even have to name names. Everybody knew who the target was. Whether the numbers are true or not, fans couldn't help but ask, how did Doechii get dragged into this chaos? She was minding her business, staying totally silent through the whole thing, and honestly, that might have been the smartest move. Clapping back at someone who's already throwing wild shots only makes it look like you're just as pressed. But let's break down what really might be going on behind the scenes. Roc Nation, the same crew Nicki says is sabotaging her, has a very close relationship with Top Dog Entertainment, TDE, the label behind both SZA and Doechii. These two companies are basically industry siblings. They share artists, move money, and pull strings together behind the curtain. Since Roc Nation mainly handles management, they depend on strong label ties like the one they have with TDE to push their artists forward. So when an artist like Doechii starts blowing up, it's not hard to believe Roc Nation could have helped boost her using their powerful network, including those close ties with TDE. And even though that kind of collab looks harmless on the surface, for someone like Nicki, who feels betrayed, it probably looks like a setup. That resentment runs deep. But here's the kicker. Despite all of Nicki's shade and loud accusations, both SZA and Doechii kept it cute and carried on. They didn't bite, and a lot of folks online are saying it's because Nicki's reputation has taken a serious hit. The internet is dragging her now, with people calling her out and saying it's time she admits she might be the real problem here. Just look at the track record. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Lotto, Remy Ma, Lil Kim, SZA, and now Doechii. At this point, it's not giving queen energy. It's looking more like a never-ending beef list. At this point, Nicki's actions are starting to tell on her, loud and clear. Her insecurities are showing, and the pattern's hard to ignore. Anytime a new female artist starts shining in her own lane, Nicki finds a way to throw a punch. And when that punch doesn't land, she goes even lower. Some people think it's because she knows deep down that the new wave of talent is slowly taking her place, and it's been a minute since Nicki truly shook up the game like she used to. But what's even crazier is how Jay-Z has been moving through all this. While Nicki's been out here throwing digital fists, Jay was seen living his best life, making a surprise appearance at Beyoncé's Paris Renaissance tour, dancing, vibing, and straight up soaking in his wife's spotlight like nothing's burning behind the scenes. Now, some of the barbs think that was all part of a plan, a carefully timed distraction to pull attention away from the firestorm Nicki was setting off online. But at this point, does anyone even care anymore? A lot of people are saying Nicki might need to take a step back. Maybe find a new lane that doesn't involve beefing with every woman in rap. Cause right now, it's looking less like a queen defending her throne, and more like someone rage baiting for attention. If you've been keeping up with all this drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear it all. And of course, see you on the next one.